So Penrith running right to left. They're running towards the northern end of Penrith Stadium, or Panthers Stadium. And James Maloney, who basically was an exchange for Matt Moylan, as I said on Thursday night. I've never in my life seen a silly season with so many big names going from club to club, and Maloney is a perfect example of it. Hayne is another. You can go on and on as Maloney gets us away on the first edition of Sunday Arvo Football. And we close today of the opening round as the captain brings it back. And Tim Manor will play the ball 10 out from his own line. Here's a run for Ma'u. The boys in the preview are talking about the strength in the forwards and the depth on the bench. And here's Alvaro now taking it ahead, but they aren't wrong. They're really a team of muscle men, the Parramatta forwards, particularly their back rowers. 32 metres out from their own line, and the ball played by Brown, who was the Cornet medalist, player of the year last year. Nathan, Cameron King going into dummy half. They've reached the 40, they're going to kick. And Moses gives it plenty of punch, which has gone down to Edwards. And Dylan Edwards playing at the back. It's a penalty going to Parramatta.
And Mitchell Moses in back place holding his neck.
Yeah.
Kicked the ball.
Just have a look at this one.
And had no defence.
Yeah,
and was hit late and high.
It's Moses Leota coming through.
You see the whiplash there. Because as he's kicking, he's watching the ball, so he relaxes the body. And you'll see when he's hit, watch the whiplash of his head. Ooh.
Well, he's got him in a dangerous position because his feet are off the ground, and he's got him high and he's got him late. So they're the three things you look for. They're the markers: high, late, and dangerous. And Leota qualifies for all of them. Gold medals, silver and bronze for Leota.
Opting to take the tap here. Mitchell Moses, the goal kicker. So they're looking for maximum points here early on. That's Ma'u taking his second carry.
Jared Hayne is in field. Oh, they're playing with two fullbacks here.
So Parramatta coming up the middle with Nathan Brown. Right in the middle of the park. Running down to the southern end. And here's a dummy and a run. And he almost bounces over King. Short of the line by centimetres. Moses goes long. Norman shows it. Goes himself. Tries to fool them. Fisher Harris is over there in combination with Kickout. Ball to be played 7 out from the line. Attack for Parramatta and stern defence required from the Panthers. Oh! He's caught it before it hit the ground. That's a try. I'd say it's a try for Parramatta for mine. He's caught the ball, though it went forward before it hit the ground. It's Josh Hoffman who celebrated his birthday yesterday.
Well, he's playing right centre. There's been a change in positions for Parramatta. Hayne is actually playing fullback, and Bevan
Parramatta
French
right
is on the
side
right
kick
wing.
chase is being cleared as being onside. We're through to the contest.
Oh,
No, I think it hits the hand of
try.
Pucci here.
Yeah.
Hits the left hand of Pucci, goes forward, hits the hand of Pucci, that's a knock-on.
Yep.
All right, so the ball propelled forward, has touched an opponent, and therefore it'll be knocked back. But from the naked eye, it looked okay. He certainly retrieved possession before it hit the ground, which negates a knock-on.
Yeah, very flat kick there from Mitchell Moses to allow his chasers to arrive as the ball was arriving. And Josh Hoffman, as Joey points out, not playing on the wing where he was named. There's no doubt that this goes from his hand onto Tyrone Pucci. That constitutes a knock-on. So
the ball is initially touched by Josh Hoffman. The ball then goes forward into Tyrone Pucci, which constitutes a knock-on. We have a decision.
So it's no try. I can assure you that the blue and gold members of the crowd went up. And that, of course, was when Hoffman caught the ball before it hit the ground. No try, semaphore. And as I just said, Josh Hoffman turned 30, I believe it was yesterday.
And now that it's a reshuffle, defensively, Hayne has gone back to right centre. Bevan French at fullback. I think maybe from set starts or even in attacking positions, Hayne will go to fullback.
This is Leota. And he wasn't placed on report, to the best of my knowledge. Is Trent Merrin, one of 5 internationals in the side.
Now, Larry's involved in that tackle. Mitchell Moses still not completely comfortable after that knock. He was just feeling the neck as Maloney down the short side. Good shot there from Mitchell Moses coming across from the inside.
So Parramatta coming up with the advantage and the 0 tackle off a breach from the opposing side. And Jared Hayne playing the ball under the tackle of Wallace. He's Alvaro, a head crash with Tamo. Near the halfway line there. And here's Moses off his left foot. Comes out the other side. Puts another step together. And he's pulled down low.
Yeah, he looks really uncomfortable.
So here is Norman floating it away for Hayne. And they're just inside the 10-metre line. Hoffman it was for Norman and for Alvaro. So Alvaro, there's the 10-metre line just in front of him. Norman decides to switch the point of attack, comes back to Jared. He puts a ball rolling on the ground, but it's cleaned up there by Penrith. Back in the corner by Mansour. Dylan Edwards has a run. He's lost the ball. Parramatta come up with it in really dangerous situation here for Penrith. It'll be played by Cameron King. The number 9, he's trying to get up, although the referee said you're milking. Here's Manna, face-to-face with Tamo originally. No score on the board, a try disallowed for Parramatta about 4 minutes back. And now referee Klein says to take it back. So Manna plays it now. And here's Nathan Brown. But he runs into a swarm of forwards from the Penrith side. And a penalty goes to Parramatta.
That one, but you're just lying on him here.
So he's penalised them for not peeling off in the required time.
Interesting decision, this one. It's been all Parramatta for the first 5 minutes, but nothing to show for it. Cameron King terribly close to scoring. Hoffman over, but knocked on. They're going for more than the 2 on offer.
And Manna it is, the unmistakable captain, playing the ball close to the line. King with a dummy, and he has a go. He's basically held up in goal. He's been turtled.
2, Cameron King.
And he'll
Just take it out 10, Cameron.
come
You're
back
play
out
the ball.
to the
Use
10 for the play the ball to get us going again.
Nice and square, Peter. Use
5 minutes gone. Sunday football live and free on 9. As it's played back for Brown. Now for Alvaro, who's been busy. And Tamo has been equally busy in defence, the big man who debuted against Parramatta back in 2009. And here is Moses out to Norman, on to Hoffman this time. Norman is in to score for Parramatta, the man that was denied a few minutes ago. And he gets a birthday try, but Ashley Klein just a little bit hesitant.
Have a try.
Gonna have a look.
They're looking for a collision here. A couple of forwards go through. There's a pass here from Mitchell Moses. How straight he plays in the line makes this play. Hoffman.
He scores.
Yeah, he scores.
That's a great finish. And it's all been right side attack for Parramatta so far this afternoon. And a cutout pass on the inside was the key ball. And they denied him once, but not twice, Josh Hoffman.
Yeah, the key pass in this play was Moses.
So Josh Hoffman remains in the field of play, then grounds the ball in goal. We have a decision.
So the Parramatta team this time, I would suggest, not celebrating in vain. And the green light confirms that.
Yeah, it's the way Moses goes to the line and how straight he plays. It holds James Maloney. Keep your eye on Moses going straight and watch Maloney on the Isuzu D-Max replay. It holds Maloney, which then creates the 3-on-2 on the outside. Beautiful pass there by Moses.
Yeah, the collision you were talking about was Tepai Maroa coming through as the decoy and Maloney initiating contact. And just enough room on the outside of Josh Mansour, his opposing winger, to sneak down the outside.
So Moses, Hoffman the try scorer on camera. Moses from the sideline. 22 out. Parramatta 4-0 after 6.5 minutes. Sunday football. 10 to conversion. It's going to be okay. It's 6-0.
Panthers 0, Eels 6.
Yeah, I'll speak to you now. Just gotta wait for this time to count down. Can't go to that, goes to 0. But stay behind the kicker, guys! Stay behind the kicker. Oh. Go the ball, mate.
So back at Penrith or Panthers Stadium,
Carry.
Josh Hoffman, the try scorer. He does well these days. He's carried a knee injury for a couple of years now. He makes the point that he's just got to learn to live with it. Some days it's his friend and some days it's his enemy, but obviously he's got freedom there today, and he's been over twice. The second time they gave the try. So Parramatta 6-0 in Sunday football, with just a couple of matches to be played today to complete. Here's Brown with a little step, and it's gone down low and picked up by Moroa. He loses the ball. It's picked up by Mansour for Penrith, and he's put down by French. Brad Fittler sideline, a comment.
There's Penrith make another error. Just talking about the start from Parramatta, and it all comes down to the halfback Mitchell Moses. If you think about his start of the game, here's the error. There's a tackle on Maloney. He drew the penalty off Leota. He made the follow-on break to get him in good position. He threw the pass for the try and then kicked the goal for the 2 points, Rabs. That's quite a start.
Yeah, Freddie, he looks a lot bigger to years gone by. Has he built up in the off-season?
Yeah, no, we spoke about that when we were in the Lebanon camp, and he knew he had to. I think the last year at the Tigers, I think for everyone was a bit of a wipeout, and the first thing when they got back there was just getting on a heavyweights program, and yeah, he looks in good nick.
Parramatta going along the line, and the ball finding Michael Jennings, who was here for a long time.
Well, they were giving the football another mistake from Dylan Edwards too early in this game. Very rare for the young man as Norman plays the short side, which they love to do.
Just inside the 10 now is Parramatta running towards the southern end of the ground. Alvaro, he signed to extend his contract with Nathan Brown, both of them signing for extra time. As the ball comes to Moses, they go behind one, and a stepping French. 28 tries from 29 games for Bevan. 5 tackles gone. King gets a call from Moses. Moses rolls it in. It's cleaned up by Penrith. Line dropout.
Impressive. Opening 9 minutes by Moses. That time swings from the long side back to the short side. And the gaps on this short side to get the ball through, because there's 4 defenders in a short area, it has to be perfect. Finds the gap, perfect weight. Just turning the screw. I have to say, Penrith are doing well just to be down by 6 points. The Eels have had nearly 80% of possession in this heat. They're defending strongly.
Well, after 9 minutes, 75 tackles to 15. And Parramatta, well, they've played the balls in the opposition 11-0.
And this ball bobbles around off the line dropout. And that was good for Penrith. They were able to make the first tackle on Parramatta. 12 metres on their own side of halfway. Alvaro again. Enjoyed plenty of hit-ups. Hasn't come out the other side, not as yet. Nathan Brown's lost it. This ball is proving hard to handle, because I would think the 32 degrees has got something to do with it. And out in the middle, it's probably hotter.
The outside backs of Penrith need to get in dummy half, take the pressure off their forwards.
Play by Edwards, the fullback. Wallace goes across the face to Maloney to Yeo. And Yeo will play the ball a few metres into Parramatta's area. Here's a penalty. They came up with the boot. You can't do that after the tackle.
You've got to release his leg,
and the penalty goes to Penrith, so they're going to get into wonderful attacking position here, given that they don't take the kick at goal, and I don't think they're going to do that.
A couple of errors there. Nathan Brown losing the football in the collision, and then a penalty for inside the 10. They haven't had to use their shoulders too much, Parramatta. They need to now.
It's Tamo. 25 metres out from the line. Now Merrin. All across then to Leota. Just inside 20. Second tackle down. Wallace away. Cleary on. Maloney, well, he didn't really get a catch on it. The ball's gone forward from Penrith. And it's going to be a scrum. Parramatta will come up with the ball from that. And Peachy it was who couldn't quite handle it. In 2018, rugby league fans, you have been told a couple of times over the weekend, can stream all of Nine's NRL matches live and free on 9 Now. You can download the 9 Now app and watch rugby league anytime, anywhere.
In years gone by, you know, when I first started, Sterlo, I was always taught as a halfback to earn the right to go wide. Now in the modern game, they want to put their plays on straight away without putting the defence under any sort of pressure.
Yeah, and they'll be very disappointed, Penrith, there, that the first time down that end of the field, they did that and came up with an error.
There's the ball finding Jennings. And he's able to fend away again. And eventually he's able to poke his nose over the line you see, which is the 30-metre line. So Parramatta working it out towards halfway now. Incidentally, Hayne and Jennings, their combined total of tries is 242. It's only been exceeded once in rugby league history, a combination of centres that have scored more than 242 tries. You probably wouldn't guess it in 100 years who it belongs to. The two Stevens, Stephen Menzies and Stephen Bell, with 246. Edwards underneath it. He's able to slide away from a tackle, make good ground down the left flank. And eventually ran it up by Brown. 35 metres out from their own line. Peachy bound for Gold Coast next year. And now for Mansour. His name has been rumoured as going to the Eels.
And Moses just being attended to by the trainer out there. As Blake straightens. 41 out. Moses out on this right wing.
With Jenny Zalesniak bringing it back to the centre of the ground. 30-metre line on your screen. Trainer saying head bin.
Yep.
And it's come away from Merrin. He put a big dummy on, got it away. Edwards there. A young kid with country stamped all over him from Albury and Dorrigo and Bellingen. And Cleary puts a kick into the in goal. Up they go, Jennings. Oh, was he in front of him? He was. It's a penalty to Penrith. What else could he do, I suppose?
And Moses was leaving the field and Brad Takarangi is coming into the game.
And Jennings has cut also. Michael Jennings has a big cut above his right eye. We're only 14 minutes in, but this game is looking like it may be a classic. Yeah. Cut above his right eye there, Michael Jennings. They've hung in well, the Panthers.
Well, you'd think with the possession that Parramatta needs more than 6 to their credit. So this is a
looks like it's
10-metre
off
penalty.
Blake, that ball. They're appealing Parramatta. They think that ball came backwards off Wonga Blake.
It's on the line here, guys.
Well, it would seem the appeal hasn't been upheld. And Wallace will take the penalty tap.
I'm not letting him defend. I'll do the same for you guys.
Takarangi has played a little bit of 5/8 and he's slotting in on that right edge alongside Maroa.
Yeah, while he's getting taped up, we may look at that replay again. See if Wonga Blake does get a hand on that ball. Ball goes in the air.
You're saying it came off Penrith and not Parramatta.
That's what they were appealing for.
Well, it was turned down as Penrith take the penalty and they come away to Peachy. And Tyrone is put down. He's 8 metres away from the line and the corner post. And this is the 12. Isaiah playing it back for Peter Wallace. Now for James Tarmo. Giant of a man. And he's, as you can see, very close to the uprights. Chance for Penrith to draw level. And then Cleary got a ball for Fisher Harris. He's well tackled. Parramatta defending their line for the first time in the game, really. Perhaps the second. Cleary shows it, goes himself. And he'll play the ball on 5. This is the last. Was there a little knock on a dummy half? I don't think so. Maloney puts it at the pads, and it's taken there by Norman. Norman makes a run of 15 metres to clear the danger zone. Well, Jennings been taped up, and there's no sympathy in that tackle, let me tell you. Parramatta getting it out to the 30-metre line with Arba'a. Now for Moreau with the short hair. He's one of 3 players only that were in the side when Jared Hayne last played Moreau. Manor was another, and Corey Norman was there in 2014. Brad Fittler, a comment from down below.
Yeah, Mitchell Moses, he's gone into the HIA. It was the tackle on Dylan Edwards when he retrieved the ball and made that run up the sideline. So when he comes back on, there'll be about 10 minutes to go in the half.
Almost 16 gone.
And things starting to turn out there now for Penrith, starting to get some field position. Last tackle kick there from Corey Norman. He was under pressure, had to go along the ground, only picked up 25 metres. On the back of a penalty, Wonga Blake nearly catches out the defence, but not on the mark.
So Blake, his rugby league career started in West Australia. Tamo inside the 20 now. Here's Wallace finding Merrin. He's done some creative things, Trent Merrin, today. Wallace waiting, looking, goes to the right side for Cleary, who throws the dummy. Youngest player since 2013 to be the top point scorer. And here's Maloney floating a ball for Mansour. He'll be hard to stop. I don't think they've stopped him. Josh Mansour, he gets the try they needed. And really looking at the balance of possession, this is a good scoreline for Penrith.
Was he on the outside shoulder?
Yes.
Okay.
We got contact, so no
They're
try.
talking obstruction.
No try here.
He's ruled it down.
So we're confirming that he's on the outside shoulder and affects the defensive line. And obviously have a look at the grounding as well if it continues.
Yes, mate.
No try.
Appealing that Isaiah Yeo going through. Oh no, they're saying Peachy interferes with Hoffman. When the ball goes over the top, does Peachy play at Hoffman?
No.
Because they're saying he went to the outside shoulder. He didn't come back to the right of Hoffman. They're saying because he goes to the left that he causes the obstruction. So this will be taken off Penrith.
Yeah, gee, I'll tell you what, was he in the same postcode though at that time?
Well, they're saying if Peachy straightens up and goes to the left, not to the outside,
yeah,
then it's play on. Because he goes to the outside.
Tyrone Peachy has disadvantaged the defensive line, therefore taking an opportunity away from the Parramatta defender to make a tackle. We have a decision.
So they're going to obviously turn it down, and that'll level that statistic up with Parramatta losing one earlier on to Hoffman, and this one turned down for Mansour.
I mean, technically it's right, but gee, it's tough.
I think it's a bit tough. I mean, I keep talking about the proximity to the actual ball, and I think that's the most important thing.
I disagree. I think he plays. If you have a look at Peachy's left hand, he gets his hand around it and actually plays it off.
He lost the ball anyway, looking at that. It's quite interesting. Brad, a comment from you?
I was just going to say that, Ray. I was talking to the people in the OB truck. They said it was a no try anyway, mate. But you got it, as you do.
You've got to start on us. You're talking to the OB truck.
Oh, they've got contacts everywhere, Ray. Everywhere.
Here's Nathan Brown. It's like going to a quiz and using your mobile for assistance.
Sounds like the voice of experience.
I have done that, you're quite right. Here's Norman putting it behind one. French, he's gone inside 20. So let's check this score, 6-0. And believe it or not, just 18 minutes gone in the game. Parramatta come away with a jump for the ball, and it's taken by Penrith, and Dylan Edwards has done well. He was really awkward in taking the ball. He managed to do that, and then he got back into the field of play. Good effort by Edwards. Now for Dallin, Wateni Zalesniak. They're out to the 20-metre line. Playing it for Wallace, one-handed pickup.
Regan Campbell-Gillard into the game now. The big number 10. We'll get a carry shortly as Wateni Zalesniak finds 15 good metres out of dummy half. This is the last.
Nathan Brown getting through a power of work. Cleary.
Huge bomb.
Puts a bomb way up for French. Did well, Bevan. And Campbell-Gillard well in jumping number 10, but it's a penalty to Parramatta.
Inside 10. One of those floating bombs from Cleary.
Came within 10.
So they're inside the 10, one of them. That might have been Campbell-Gillard.
As soon as this ball goes up, French just puts his hand straight up and demands the ball, that he wants to catch the ball. He puts his hand straight up, calls the ball. Great confidence there from French.
Just to explain that a little bit further for you, if you're in front of the kicker, you have to remain 10 metres away from the man playing at the ball or waiting for the ball. 30 metres out then from the Penrith line.
He's lost the locks, Morale, but he also looks a lot leaner than I remember. He looks really fit on this right edge.
Well, that day he played with Jared Hayne in his farewell game. Here's Brown shoveling it down. King away. Alvaro. And the 15 is on for Parramatta. And that is Takarangi. He comes back. He runs a half circle. And he'll play the ball on the 10. For King. And away then for Norman with a long ball. And Alvaro angles back slightly towards the right side. King again. Got a call from Norman. Oh! He sliced through like a hot knife through butter. Corey Norman scores for Parramatta right behind the crossbar.
Yeah, and in the absence of Mitchell Moses, he's really taken control out there, operating on both sides of the ruck. And it's just great sleight of hand here and speed off the mark. Drifts over to the left. He's got a bit of will-o-wisp about him, doesn't he, Corey Norman? Yeah, Isuzu D-Max replay. Man inside, dummies to the man outside. Fisher Harris falls for it, and he improves towards the posts. That's more a scoreline that is more in tune with what we've seen in this opening 20-25 minutes. Parramatta have had a lot of opportunities, but that's only their second try.
Yeah, tremendous deception there. Ball in two hands. You young playmakers at home, you get the ball in two hands. It's the defenders in two minds, waving it around like a magic wand. Fisher Harris falls for the dummy. Classy player, Corey Norman.
It reminds me, it's scary when you keep looking at this this Queensland squad that remains even without Cronk and Thurston, and you've got Corey Norman waiting to help Munster and Norman and Morgan out if need be.
Can't fit them all in, Ray.
I understand that, Peter, but I'm saying the depth just continues.
Well, this guy's personality, the bigger the occasion, the better he plays.
Confidence.
Yeah. He's some player.
So Norman to try and convert his own try in the absence of Moses. It's 10-0 in favour of the Eels. This for 12-0. And he's missed it. 10-0.
Yeah, I got him up on that marker on one tackle. Yeah, just make sure you get to that goal line. There was one there where you made.
And welcome back to Panthers Stadium, where Parramatta are leading the home side Penrith 10 points to 0. As Maloney gets us going again, talking of home sides, excluding the games in Perth. I think all the home teams have won, haven't they? Including Benji's team, and it was lovely to see Benji on the preview today. So keep in mind, 3 o'clock the preview for Sundays. The boys will examine what's already happened, and then they'll lean into what's about to happen from about 3:30. 10-0 in favour of Parramatta. 2 tries, but I think Brad Arthur would probably agree that maybe we should be a little bit more on the board than that. Here's a penalty going to Parramatta. They didn't let go of the man playing the ball, is the indication from the ref.
And a strong stint from Tim Manor, the co-captain. He's left the field. Matangi comes out for Parramatta. Had a season up here at Penrith.
Set start here. Any penalties, Hayne goes to fullback, French goes to right wing. So anytime it's a penalty, an attacking situation, Hayne goes into fullback.
Played there by Ma'u, and now it's come over to Takarangi, then for Brown, then for Norman. Now it's come to Hayne and gone on to Hoffman. The swinging arm thrown towards Hoffman. He hunched over and took it sweet. Plays the ball 12 out. Brown ahead. Able to offload, does it well. King with a step. Cameron King, 3 out. Play back to Brad Takarangi in 15. Norman goes in, that's Matangi. 1 try in 92 games. Matangi. He's lost the ball. Might have something to do with it, I'm not sure.
Don't start the clock.
Yeah, and you bringing it up.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, we're going to go with the scrum without the clock.
So, Macca's Thursday night football, Sharks and Dragons down at Southern Cross Stadium, that's at Cronulla. And then on Friday, Broncos Cowboys at Suncorp. It's become the annual match that you can't afford to miss at Suncorp on Friday. These are the matches on 9, live and free, and on Sunday, here we go again, Manly and Para at Lotto Land at Brookvale, 3 o'clock next Sunday. So Penrith to work this scrum after the knock-on by Matangi.
Come on. Out.
And Wateni Zelezniak takes it to the right side of Penrith Stadium, basking in sunshine over there. And Fisher Harris, who came here at the same time as Haiwira Naira. Gus Gould went on a spending spree over there, and he saw these 2 youngsters and he brought them here together. Haiwira Naira on the bench today.
As Warren takes the ball forward. Real good news story. Sam McKendry into the action now. First game for 20 months. 2 ACL injuries to that heavily strapped right knee. And Peter Wallace here looking for 40-20, but have we got one rolled between the legs here? We do.
Here we do. It's a play the ball penalty. You're talking about Sam McKendry. Peter's already pointed out he's been 20 months off the scene. We'll just watch this. Yeah, there's no genuine attempt to play the ball there. Trent Merrin it was. Comment from you, Brad.
There's Mitchell Moses about to go back onto the field. You got to say, with the tackle count pretty lopsided at the moment, this could really hurt the Panthers. It might be only 10 at the moment, Ray, but the fatigues would just build and build and build, and don't look like the Eels are. Looks like they're going away from this end of the field.
So Parramatta finding the line. There's McKendry, 20 months out, but he wasn't lying idle. He and his wife, in that space of time, they've got a 17.
Where are you going with this?
Never mind about that. He's got a 17-month-old girl and a 6-month-old boy. So they've got one of each, even though he's been out of. Kirsten's her name. There's to get towards that try line, and blocks, and here it is. Well, the question is, did
This is Brad Takarangi. Any halfback would be
Torpedo left to right.
Look at this.
He's the second.
From Mansour.
Yeah, it's
if we get the ball off. Watch Maloney in 6. Takarangi. There's 3 defenders. There's no need to come in. That defence. Brad Fittler.
I've got to say Maloney there. I know he should have been to tell Peachy to. Knew he could have made the tackle, then he. It's a bit like Moylan the other night. It's a half. That's your job. You won't.
Yeah, it's poor communication. Who Takarangi was good enough to read. He's just got back onto the field where he pretty much converted.
0. He's missed this one. 14-0.
Stay behind the kicker, guys.
And scoreline 14. Their third try. He had a third. They've done good, the birthday. Who was the Parramatta via the same time as Corey Norman. They all sting for the number 1 jumper at the Broncos, and then they dispersed in different directions. Played by Moroa, who on that day that he played with Jared, when Jared waved goodbye in 2014, Moroa was playing his 8th game and he was 18. He's certainly come a long way since then, and he's a very good player. Dylan Edwards. Now for Tyrone Peachy. 20 metres out from their own line. Cleary. He and Maloney. Melbourne is a common denominator in the Cleary-Maloney combination. They both debuted in Melbourne. Maloney playing for the Storm at Olympic Park, and Cleary debuting for Penrith at Amy Park.
Yeah, really got to dig in here these last 10 minutes into the break, Penrith. Can't concede any more points. Even Campbell Gillard taking the ball forward. Body language is not great, but they've done a lot of work.
So Cleary goes to the air, and it's another skyscraper. And he did well, Bevan French. He had Wonga Blake to contend with, because he was there contesting the bomb. Cleary gets it so high. Cameron King, the dummy half for Parramatta, native of Wagga Wagga. Home of some great sportsmen, or the birthplace of some great sportsmen right around Australia.
Import Kane Evans out there now, inside ball to Nathan Brown, again straight and hard. Big number 17 coming across from the Roosters. Coming to the shoot, no, found a kick for touch out of dummy half, and does so successfully.
So 14-0 at the 31st minute in favour of Parramatta.
He's been impressive, Cameron King. I think he's had a lot of dramas with his shoulders. I think he's had a few shoulder reconstructions.
Nine's brand new rugby league show, 100% footy. That starts tomorrow night. James Bracey will host that. Phil Gould, Paul Gallen, Ruin Sims and Neil Breen for debate, and fairly hard-hitting debate on the hottest topics in the game. 100% footy, headed up by Gus and Gal. 10 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Standard Time on the home of league, Channel 9. That's Fisher Harris. Out to the 30-metre line. Peter Wallace, the dummy half.
Oh, Jared Hayne there. Some heavy contact on McKendry.
Here's what Peter was talking about. And he might have only just got an arm involved. Perry. Again, he puts up a tall one. It's down to French, who leaves the ground. And the referee said he was back on the ground before the tackle, which was made by Wateni Zalesniak. Jennings gets it about 25 out from their own line on the second. That's Evans. Played alongside Jared Hayne for Fiji in the World Cup, the very successful World Cup during the off-season. Alva'a playing it for King. This is Matani. Brilliant day in, well, at the foot of the mountains, I was about to say in the harbour city, but it is right across Sydney. You couldn't find a cloud. Just a beautiful day, probably a bit hot for footy though. As Mansour runs across and links up with the other winger. So winger to winger, Zalesniak, and it's put down by Blake, but it's a penalty.
His shoulder.
He's talking about a shoulder here.
Yeah, on Josh Mansour after he passed the football.
We're time off.
So on all fours receiving attention.
Michael!
It's a nice play by the back three there, linking. Got at my feet, Wonga Blake. I thought he was in the clear. Here's the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a shoulder tackle from Michael Jennings. And I think he put him on report, didn't he? I just took my eyes away for a moment, but I think he's on report.
No.
Another player receiving some attention. No, he's backing up now, Cameron King. That's 6.5 minutes to go. Panthers would love to get something on the board here, a springboard to take into the second 40. 40's not great, but it could have been worse with the amount of possession and defence possession they've given away and defence they've had to do.
Maloney finding the line just on the Parramatta side of halfway. They dearly love some points in the next 6 minutes as McKendry drives ahead. He's born in West Aussie, Sam, so they've got a couple in the team that have got a West Australian connection. Now for Campbell Gillard. He was player of the year last year here. Maloney getting it across to kick out. And just outside the 20 they play the ball. Maloney to the line, long ball, Cleary, catch, pass. It's been raked on by Yo, picked up by Blake. Blake's inside the 20 and still going. He'll go all the way, Wonga. Wonga Blake gets it over there for 4 points for Penrith. Well, he got out of bear trap after bear trap. Stepped free, stepped high.
And we're just making sure the
and
ball always stays up and doesn't touch the
one
ground,
of the
so there's no
West Aussies, puts it over the line, or on the line.
The smoothest mover in the competition. He rolls here. Great tackle by Bevan French. The ball stays off the ground.
Well done.
Yeah, that's a try. Smart play. When he gets that ball, you sense something was going to happen.
Yeah, he pulled through
The right arm of Wonga Blake always remains up and he grounds the ball in the end goal. We have a decision.
He pulled through a low tackle on that right edge at speed. The longest legs you've ever seen, and he's got power and pace, and that's just what Penrith needed. 4's about to become 6 as we go down to Brad Fittler.
Yeah, he made up for the drop he did just a couple of minutes ago, but the important thing, what Wonga did just then, when he brought the crowd into play. The crowd's been sitting on their seat for about 30 minutes. They've had nothing to cheer about. They've finally got up and a chance to wave those flags around. And this might be very important going into the last 5 minutes of this half with a crowd that's a little bit excited.
So the Panthers finally on the board. And there's your try scorer, Wonga Blake. 21st career try. Cleary will convert. The Eels leading by 10 and now take.
Time off, maybe. Time off.
Successful. Project Locksmiths. The Mighty Panthers now 6. Eels 14.
I'll blow the whistle, lads. Just wait for the whistle.
Fans, come on.
Let's stay behind the kicker. Guys, stay behind the kicker.
Sam,
Stay behind the kicker, guys.
make sure you release that grip when we tell you to, all right?
So a great try on the other side of that break, scored by Wonga Blake, which has put Penrith in a really a good position. I know it sounds crazy when you're down by 8, but we've been watching the entire game. They've basically had little ball, little possession, little field position, and now they're down by 8 with about 4 minutes to go to the break. So this is Fisher Harris, who came out in the run onside in jumper number 17, and through Maloney, that's gone on to be taken by kick out. Big man.
He's huge. I was watching him in the warm-up.
He's got a very similar frame to Wonga Blake, actually, as Peachy runs across and then looks for a little hole to get through. Pulled down eventually by Beau Scott, who's out there now. Now for Cleary, here it comes again. And it goes up above the rooftop here that shades us over on the western side. Then it comes back half an hour later. And they got him in the air. You heard from Ashley Klein, which is a penalty. You can't tackle a defending player in the air.
A little bit of a change in the formation for Penrith out there. Fisher Harris has gone to the middle of the field. Isaiah Yeo over to the right edge with kick out on the left side. Just got their timing wrong on that one, the Penrith chasers.
So that is Ava'a, 30-metre line. Kirison, of course. He's lost the ball. He was, of course, with South Sydney,
He's just lying down.
Melbourne, from memory, and now with Parramatta.
If they're locked bones in,
They can
mate.
jag one in this set, or get a repeat, and get even any points before half-time. All the momentum, mentally, you're with the Panthers. They've had no ball. 60% of possession with the Eels.
So they've got a big back line out very deep, and kick out. That big man standing just in front of the centres. That's him with the ball. Huge man to be out there and trying to mark up on him. Fisher Harris.
Well, he's going to take every opportunity to try and get it Mitchell Moses that he can. And they go to the right side now through Cleary and Maloney.
So Edwards chimes in from the back. Gets away, comes back, gets away again. And Beau Scott it is that eventually pulls him down. So the third tackle is gone, and Wallace drops it down for McKendry. Wallace again. Then to Cleary, he dummies, but that's a good bootlace tackle there by Takarangi. Penalty goes to Penrith.
You've got to clear him, Kane.
It's against Kane Evans.
You've got to clear him. You've got to give him space.
And Ashley Klein is, I think, talking about crowding.
I'd be tempted to take the 2 here.
Yeah, I'd be taking the 2. Converted try behind at half-time after what they've endured. Well, they might get more.
So Maloney for Cleary. And this is Blake. Tries to push away from Jennings. He'll play the ball 12 metres out. There's just on a minute left to go. And this is Yeo. Penrith desperate for another one. Cleary turns it in. McKendry tackled again, same spot as before. Wallace then behind Fisher Harris, out to Maloney, gone on to Peachy, gets it away from Mansour. Oh, good defence. Parramatta, they closed up ranks down in the corner.
Yeah, it's Jared Hayne who comes over. They were running out of space. But that man there, Josh Mansour, is a very strong finisher, but Jared Hayne does a really good job here. They peppered this left side with the 3 previous plays on the 4th one. And it's Hayne who tosses him over the sideline. So they will lead by 8 at the break.
So 4 tries in the half, which is about to wind down in a matter of seconds. Hoffman scoring 2, disallowed 1. Norman got the other for Parramatta. And Wonga Blake, you saw him score the lone points for Penrith just a couple of minutes ago. So halftime siren at Panthers Stadium, and here's Brad down on the ground.
Yeah, Jared, good to be back.
It is, mate. Yeah. Good rivalry this one, and awesome to see the crowd out. Awesome atmosphere.
How hot is it?
Oh, torture. Trying to get me second win, so yeah, tough first half.
Good luck the second half.
So Ashley Klein is the main referee. And Matt Noyen is his assistant referee as the ball goes down to Sam McKendry, returning to the football field for the first time in 20 months in this game today. And here's a strong run from his front row partner, Campbell Gillard. Peter Wallace scurries out from dummy half, taken down by his opposite number, King and Matangi. Fisher Harris, crop of curly hair to the halfway line. Yo with no sign of curly hair. Youngster from Dubbo. Cleary kicks. Thought he might have been tackled in the air. The referee was standing pretty much right there. So Hoffman, Josh, 2 tries today. Great start to the season for him. And this is Jared Hayne. Might have seen the interview with Brad. He made no bones about the fact that it was exhaustive out there today. Bo Scott, one of the game's toughest players. Origin history. Now Kane Evans. Oh, gee, if that sticks. I thought it was flat and it was play on, but Matangi put it down.
Yeah, first set of 6, I'm not quite sure whether that was the pass, but Ray, it was to Matangi.
Make sure that arm goes out.
As well. Now all of a sudden, Penrith will find touch.
Have a look at the stiff wrists here.
20 metres out.
How not to pass a ball.
So here's a chance for Penrith to really break this game open. And McKendry will play the ball in front of the sticks. He's 10 metres out. I think he's lost it. Now it's a penalty.
You've got to let go.
Outside 10, there's the mark.
It's against the tackler Matangi for holding on too long. Long ball out to Blake. And they're aware of the skills of Wonga Blake after his try just in front of half-time. 15 out, plays the ball. Yo, Fisher Harris in 17. 10 out. 14-6 Parramatta. 3rd minute of the second half. Cleary left, right, and put down hard. With Hayne coming over the top of Bo Scott. They go for that corner again. Yeah, they cut in. Kickow. Does he get it down? I think he did. Kickow, I think you'll find it scored here. And Ashley Klein points to the spot. Now it is game very much back on again.
What about the power? Have a look at the angle of the run. He starts wide of the ruck, but then angles in off his left foot. The Isuzu D-Max replay. Watch the angle of the run. He gets the ball and then comes back and gets one-on-one with a smaller man, Bevan French there. Kick out. He must be 120 kilos. There's only going to be one winner there.
He did a pretty good job here, Jared Hayne, one-on-one, but it's the final strong motion here from Kickout to get his left arm and shoulder free to roll the ball in. I go back to the Kane Evans pass to Matangi, first set, second half. You're better off just tucking that one under the arm and getting a kick at the end of it. And they gave Penrith an opportunity, and the home side were good enough to capitalise.
Yeah, it's the trend in the last few years to defend the fullback in the line to get that extra number. so there's no overlaps. That's why it's so hard to attack inside that 10. But the smart forwards like kick out, they recognise that. If they get a quick play of the ball, they can get one-on-one with a smaller man, a fullback. And this giant, there's only going to be one winner there. Smart play.
So here's Cleary with the attempt to convert and bring it down to a 2-point ball game. His success rate last year 90%, and it's another 2.
Wait, guys, wait. Yeah, mate, we will. Wait, 10 seconds. There's 30 seconds after every...
So Parramatta with the restart, sending it down to that northern end of the ground where Dylan Edwards gets the ball away for Leota it was. Might have been McKendry, was it? So Penrith 15 away from their own line. Here's Fisher-Harris. So 14 plays 12. After Parramatta led by 14-0. Maloney to the line, sweeps it away. And the try scorer kick out plays the ball. Mansour then to halfway. Cleary throws the dummy, then tries to find a little gap. Throws down by Mahu, playing in jumper 11. High kick again, down to Hoffman this time. Away from Campbell-Gillard. Beats another. Yo runs back into Fisher-Harris. Let's take a comment sideline from Brad.
They're just on Viliame kick-out. It was no surprise to the Panthers that he scored a try. When they bought him, he'd scored 32 tries out of 42 games in the under-20s for the Cowboys. And he's 117.5 kilos.
So he's quite large.
That's on the large side.
This is Kane Evans to the halfway line. He obviously towers over the Parramatta pack. In fact, it was one of the reasons I think that Brad Arthur was lured into purchasing Kane Evans. So the kick from Moses going into the corner. Edwards couldn't get a shot at it. That's come off a Parramatta player and gone into touch. So it's a changeover.
Yeah, the momentum swinging to the Panthers. You get a real opportunity here, 40 metres out from their line. They start their set.
Nice to square. Use your foot, Tyrone.
Just watching Nathan Cleary, the opening 46 minutes. He's really wanting to run the ball, but the key for Nathan is running at the right time. You don't want to be running when nothing's on. You're taking a lot of petrol out of your tank. He's running smart to improve.
Takes away the surprise of throwing the dummy as well, Joe. He's thrown 4. None of them have been fallen for.
Is Yo. 39 metres away. Third tackle gone. So Cleary drifting across to Fisher-Harris on the 4th. Wallace then hitting the blind side with Maloney. Fielded down there by French. And he does the wise thing and finds the ground 10 metres out from his own line. About 10 metres in from the eastern sideline. Bringing the ball away. Penrith play Souths here next Saturday, and then 3 games away. Dogs, Cowboys and Eels again.
Well, there's another turnover going down the short side with no room to move, and they'll be handing the football over again in their own half. Been a poor start from Parramatta. And
you watch Mansour here. He takes 2 attackers, slides off late, and then tremendous strength to put Hoffman over the sideline. I like how he just held his line, held on Moses, then slid off late and shows his tremendous strength. Definitely turning this momentum.
For all your NRL updates, go to wwos.com.au, the home of Rugby League, the highlights, analysis from the game's biggest names. 14-12 in favour of Parramatta. With 9 minutes gone second half, Wallace bumped away from Cameron King. Taken by Kane Evans, gone to Cleary, turned inside for Yo, and they're just outside the 20-metre line. So Wallace to Cleary, long ball, Maloney short, and that is kick out. He's away from one, and eventually he's pulled down. He might have lost the ball. And again, Takarangi is penalised for not letting go of a player tackled.
The way kick out, he catches this ball under pressure, and the way heavy, 117 kilos, the way he props and changes direction as he catches. Watch this, catches, changes direction, and then surges through the line. An amazing athlete, just that big, but also that agile.
They got rid of both Mitchell Moses and Cameron King there. It was Takarangi who had to come in and save the day, held on too long. So we're about to be locked up here, 14 all.
Big he is.
And we've got half an hour left, and what a 30 minutes this is going to be. Home side with big support, starting to get on a roll. Parramatta a bit of malaise since they've come out from the break.
And what that run does, it gets in Mitchell Moses' head. So next time they go to that edge, Moses will be thinking, well, I have to give everything to tackle this big man. Then that opens up to play to the outside. That's what a player of his strike can do.
Well, he's taking the kick at goal, and referee waving to a Parramatta trainer to get out of the road. It could easily be described as distracting the goal kicker. Got to be careful. He'll give you the kick again if you distract a goal kicker.
The last kick off Michael Jennings was a metre offside.
It was a metre offside right in front of the referee.
The referee
as well.
didn't blow it. I couldn't understand.
So 14 all. They had that kick
Stay behind here, boys.
from a little bit wider angle than the one the boys are talking about that they could have taken prior to the break. They'd be in front now, but that's with hindsight. Here's McKendry. Campbell-Gillard runs really, really hard. I think he's probably in that Australian side for quite some time to come. Fisher-Harris. 8 metres his own side of halfway, 3 tackles down. They're down the centre of the ground. And here's Maloney to the line. He locks the ball over to Mansour. Mansour put down about 7 metres on Parramatta's side of halfway. Peachy goes for a run. 29 now. That's 5. So Cleary will go high. And high it is. Down towards Alba has a chance here. Oh, Blake has flung it down. It's still not beaten. It's gone away from McKendry. Bounced off into the never-never. Picked up by Mansour. Mansour puts a kick in. Came off Parramatta. They get the ball and Parramatta will play it. By Jared Hayne.
You did well, Rabs. There was some pinball action going on there.
So, look at this. The defence from Penrith is full of confidence. Now for Manor. Here they come again. Take a bit of this. 35 out. King and dummy half. Kane Evans. He does well, but they're hard metres to make. Now Moses. He tries to outdo Cleary's high kick. Wateni Zelezniak on his way back. Dallin almost reaching the 40-metre line. That's the first.
Kane Evans really starting to struggle in that Parramatta defensive line. He just flung an arm out there. Tennis Olesniak was bringing the ball back. I think it's about time he came to the bench as Maloney finds...
Here he is again, kick out. Got the ball underneath and away to Edwards. Gets it back to Cleary. And Cleary will play the ball. 10 metres out from the line. Here comes Peachy. It goes to ground. It's a penalty to Penrith. And they're appealing for the sin bin. They've got the sin bin. Parramatta are down to 12. It's Moses that's gone.
Going for long break. Broke down play.
Oh, this has turned around completely.
There's beautiful link play there. Maloney turns kick out back on the inside, and Dylan Edwards follows the big man, gets a lovely offload. And then Cleary picks the ball beautiful on the inside, plays the ball quickly. Moses never square, plays it Peachy. Hasn't it turned this game?
Well, he is causing mayhem on that left edge. Kick out. And Moses actually did really well, both he and the fullback, to work out who was going to take who, because it looked like it was just going to be a simple catch and pass. But Moses came from the far side to tackle the support player. He just didn't get clear once the play the ball had taken place. And for the first time in this game, the Panthers are going to lead. It's taken 55 minutes, but they are now in front.
Well, when Maloney got that ball and plays to Kickow on the left, there was nothing doing. There was only 3 players who he could play to. Have a look. Kickow's on the outside. There's 5-6 defenders. But the way he turns the play back inside and then the acceleration of Kickow, a 3-man play against a 6-man defence, and Kickow comes out the other side. Just goes to show the special talent Kickow has.
So just touching on this crowd, 21,500 here. The ground record is, I think, 22,500. So that explains why there are a few vacant seats
Stay behind, guys. Michael,
over in the eastern grandstand. So 21,500 here. They had a big crowd in Townsville. In fact, they've had good crowds right across the weekend. And McKendry brings the ball back as we take it to the sideline, Brad.
There's a real ploy when someone gets Simeon just to walk as slow as they possibly can off the field. But just so you know, as he was walking off, the time was still clicking over. So he's actually cost his team, Mitchell, about 30 seconds of him being on the field.
Fisher-Harris. Tackled on the 40, third tackle gone. Cleary shows it and then tries to break through. Pulled down by Norman. Parramatta, though, backpedaling. Put down, Maloney.
Okay, just these
Parramatta, they needed a breach.
Yeah, there was an error there, but there's good principles there at Penrith to quick play the ball. So Cleary here, the show and go. But he gets a quick play the ball. Wallace gets out of dummy half, and the support players are flooding in behind that ruck. Even though there's a drop ball there, Anthony Griffin would be happy with the principles there. Look at, especially the numbers, 7, 6 and 1. The spines are all on one page. If the dummy half runs, all the other moves on the outside, they're out of play. You've got to support your dummy half when he takes out of there.
Thursday night football for McDonald's. He's down at Cronulla with the Sharks and the Dragons in the local derby. And then on Friday night, VB Friday night football, Broncos and Cowboys from Suncorp. All this live and free on 9. And then Manly versus Para down at Manly on Sunday. It's the menu for next weekend. Brown away. It has come down to French joining in. Parramatta looking over the last 10 minutes quite lethargic. Beau Scott on the 20-metre line. They've nearly had 58 minutes of the game go. Last tackle now, Norman. Did that hit the referee? It did. Maloney He's ruled that it didn't affect the progress of the game. And Mansour comes outside the 20 and makes his way down to the 30. And we've got an injured player in that play. It's Norman. Yes, it is. Here's a bust. Penrith with Cleary down to the 30-metre line and a race for the line. Oh, Blake's got the ball. He scores his second try of the day. Wonga Blake, once the ball was given to him and a foot race developed, the big fella was away. Graceful runner. 20-14 in favour of Penrith.
What a turnaround in this game since half-time. In fact, since late in the first half. Corey Norman down injured, Mitchell Moses in the sin bin. All of a sudden it's an 11-man defensive line. And Nathan Cleary shapes to pass on the Isuzu D-Max replay, gets into open space, and he's got the athlete on his outside, Wonga Blake. He sums it up. Look at that. Wants to commit the man coming across. Nathan Cleary throws the pass just at the right time to give Wonga Blake as much of a head start as possible. Ava'a can't foot it with him. Bevan French comes late. But big man on little man again, and he gets his second. Blake. A kick now from the sideline to possibly put them 8 in front. Brad Fittler.
Yeah, well, that was all Dylan Edwards. He had the vision. There was space everywhere out on the left-hand side for the Parramatta side. First tackle and found Nathan and Cleary with some support. And this is your man. You want the ball in your hands when there's some space. He is a slick mover.
2 tries for Wonga Blake. 1 just before half-time. And this one came on the stroke almost of 1 hour.
It's a really tough kick here for Cleary. Obviously from the sideline. He had a gut-busting 50-metre sprint. For a kicker, these are the tough kicks. And there's been a big effort. You're under fatigue.
This for an 8-point lead. Coming around, beautiful kick. Has it got the yes, it has. So back to a scoreboard that has absolutely done a dipsy-doodle. Panthers 22, Parramatta 14. So 22 unanswered points scored by the Panthers. And that started for them back at the 35th minute. So we've had about 25 minutes. And Penrith have scored 22 points. We go over the hour mark. And this is Merrin. Of course, young Cleary, Nathan, would have come here today and he would have been terribly dejected at 14-0 down. He wanted to feel the same thrill as his dad did yesterday when Ivan's West Tigers got the money.
Well, it's all one-way traffic at the moment. Mitchell Moses still has 4 minutes in the bin to serve. Last tackle now. But Penrith, well, they've got all the running as Cleary goes high to Ava'a.
And it's taken by Penrith and then right back. It's not a knock on. It's with Isaiah Yeo. He puts in a little kick and it's found touch. No problems for the man from Dublin.
I love that in the last play when it goes to a forward and you can see him tense up. What do I do? And that is what you call a nothing kick. Not a chip.
It's like
and he knows it. Look at him laughing.
It's like to take out your lob wedge and you've got to get it over a bunker in a little bit of water. Lob it on the green. You played that shot beautifully, Stella. Parramatta with the ball.
Yep, the lob shot, then the bunker shot, and then one out of the hazard.
Ava'a is able to break free of the tackle from Merrin. Yeah, I guess Nathan's dad will be the happiest dad in town at the moment, and yes, added to by what Penrith are doing here. King, Jared Haynes, taken by Tyrone Peachy on the second attempt. Then from Hoffman through Norman, Brown, and Nathan determinedly pokes his nose through. 5 tackles gone for Parramatta. French up into the line and drills it over the sideline.
A smart kick.
Yeah, they've got a problem here, Parramatta, in regards to Cameron King. I don't know if he can go the duration in these conditions. Mitchell Moses getting booed as he comes back to the sideline. But if King, who's struggling out there, comes off, it might be Nathan Brown who goes in to play dummy half, and that takes away some of their attack, or one of their points of attack.
The clock's still ticking down.
They found James Maloney that set. Takarangi, big man on little man, who got to quick play the ball. And Moses back on the field. If they can find Maloney, then the next play Moses explores that short side with Hayne.
Just hold it.
Some success there for the Eels.
Please stay down, wait till the ball goes in.
While all that was going on, Kickow was getting some attention from a trainer. And this is Watene Zelezniak who'll play the ball. 22 metres away from their own line, McKendry.
Moses back on, Ray. And they're back to their full complement.
Wallace for Merrin. Merrin running to the line, and Kickow was the big man casting a shadow over him. He's right next door to him, running off his left hip. Edwards. 15 metres into Parramatta's territory with Mansour. 35 out. This is the last. And the kick for Cleary. All good. Sends it down into the corner. French taken 10 out from his own line. So now we've got 16 to go. 1,103 metres gained by Penrith. 981 for Parramatta. How some of these stats have swung around. Here's a run by Hoffman. Kick out coming off. He's looking at that hand. That's what the trainer was working on. And I was talking earlier. Here's Hayne to the halfway. 5 gone for Parramatta. On the halfway line, Norman had to hurry a kick, and I thought it was going to find touch. It's been raked back, and Hayne, he puts a kick on it. Edwards has got the ball now. So play is rather disjointed. They're all over the park. Could be dangerous. Oh, it's been lost. And Parramatta come up with it, then they knock on. They didn't gain an advantage, though.
Well, here comes a shift. It's been all the Penrith Panthers since half-time.
All up. Okay, shot clock on. You take the scrum.
But with that error, I feel like it's going to move now to the Eels. Brad Fittler.
I was just wondering, I have to go to David Middleton with Mitchell Moses going back on. Has 2 housemates ever been sin-binned on the same weekend? Luke Brooks for the Tigers, Mitchell Moses for the Eels.
That's why you're getting paid the dollars you are.
So I'm on the big bucks, Ray.
He's in the fetal position up there. Middo, get up.
Alvar playing it inside the 40-metre line. Tamo lying over the top of him like a big marquee. 30 metres out. And here's Manna. Completions there. 12 from 14 for Penrith. 4 from 6 for Parramatta. They go down the right side. And they get a penalty, Parramatta.
Look after it, Brady, look after it.
It's a pet play from Parramatta where they swing Mitchell Moses. He goes from the left round to the right. In behind and straightens.
Stay on the line, boys.
They're running out of room there. A high tackle might have saved them, but this is a great opportunity. Under 15 minutes to go now. Parramatta must be the next to score.
Well, the hype around the Parramatta club.
Okay.
We knew it would deliver a lot of pressure. That's become evident today. added to the heat factor, but they've both had to play in it. Hayne, 3 metres out. Now man out. And Penrith hold him in the upright position. And you see the leg lifted, that is considered to be held. And now it's away for Norman. Norman playing the ball 9 metres out from the line. French a dummy half. Moses dropping it down for Brown. 4th tackle against Parramatta. And King goes off to Maroa. 5 and last for the Eels. King now for Moses. Over to Hayne. He pops the ball to French. And the ball covered up eventually by the defence. So changeover.
Yeah, nearly got over there, Bevan French. Was able to roll in the in-goal area. But not a great set there. There were 3 hit-ups. Just 1 out hit-ups in that set of 6. Setting up for plays. As they try and force an error here or back into the in-goal area through some strong defence.
This is Mansour. Taken down by Maroa. Parramatta play Manly next Sunday afternoon, and then they have 3 at home. ANZ. Wira Naira is with the ball, so he's out there now. Put into the game quite late. Merrin. Yeah, 3 at home for Parramatta after they travelled to Brookvale. Sharks, Tigers and Penrith again. Bevan French. And away from Maloney, but put down by one of the forwards. Isaiah Yeo. Dummy half Moses. Hoffman. Play almost in dead centre. Alvaro started the game strong. King. Run from dummy half. The markers were not there. They were non-existent. Inside the 30-metre line then for King to play it. This is Norman. Brown runs a decoy. Moses with the ball. And Maloney goes in on him on the ground. 22 metres out from the line. Norman gets a kick back towards his blindside players. Beautiful take by Dylan Edwards.
He came up with a couple of errors early in the game, Dylan Edwards, but he's been faultless ever since, and that was a great take. And I'm just not feeling it. Penrith, they are well on top here, not only on the scoreboard. McKendry, strong charge.
Penrith leading by 8. And this is Peachy. 70 minutes gone. Penrith coming from 14-0 down in the space of 20 minutes. They piled on 22 points. Here comes some more possibly. Edwards down the left side and tackled, not held, breaks the tackle, has another dig. 5 out. Last tackle coming up now for the Panthers. Maloney puts it through the hands. Cleary decided to do the same. Then he tried to flick pass and the referee has ordered that it was knocked on.
Wow, one referee's the one closest to that play ruled knocked back.
Did he lose that or did he pass that back?
It was overruled. Well, I thought the referee who was closest to it had the best view, and he signalled knocked back. And the crowd saw it.
Yeah, it's one of the negatives about 2 referees, isn't it? We get by with one in international football, but that's a negative that comes out of a 2-ref situation, Brad.
Yeah, the one thing we've seen a couple of times is the combination of the fullback and the 2 halves. When Dylan Edwards went through, the 2 blokes on the inside holding their hand up, they were calling out for a kick. It was the halfback, Nathan Cleary.
There's a knock on there.
James Maloney.
It's a knock on against Nathan Brown. Well, he loves to offload, Nathan. McDonald's scoreboard and timepiece, 22-14 with 8 minutes to go in Sunday football.
Well, much hyped coming into the 2017 season, the Penrith Panthers. As we've said earlier, they won 2 of their first 9 games, got belted by the Dragons in round 1. But what a performance this has been. 14-0 down early in this game.
Right, so boy. Keep waiting to that ball.
No football. But from the start of the second half, they have been on top in all areas. Physically, scoring points. Mentally, they've been really good. And now a chance to just put the icing on the cake. They've got all their backs set to the right-hand side. And Parramatta starting to look very, very tired defensively.
Let's go. Stay with me.
I think they were confident about their physical, their stamina, when they knocked back that goal that we've debated about at half-time. I think they thought, we're getting on top of this mob, we'll go for the 6 rather than the 2. And then they come out in the second half and they've exhibited exactly that. Physically, they've just pummeled Parramatta. You only got to look at the 14-0 that was there. It's now 22-14. And this is Haiwira Nara. 25 out. There could be some more coming. Here's big James Tarmo. 12 out from Parramatta line. Now to Mirren. This is Isaiah Yeo. There's the line. Peter Wallace looking, asking the question, who wants it? Finds a half, gives it to the other half. Now it's gone from Edwards, gone to Blake. And Blake, I thought for a moment, might have been looking at 3. 5 gone against Wonga. Played back and away from from Wateni. Zelezniak and the kick. It's fielded in goal there by Jared. And Hayne comes running out towards the 20-metre line. Hayne to play the ball. Under 7 to go.
Yeah, big play from Hayne. Keeping his side in it, but Michael Jennings has spilt the ball on his next carry.
Just a reminder that tomorrow night is the first edition of 100% footy. James Bracey hosting that, and he's the official referee for anything that might break out between Meshers Gould and Gallen. Interesting combination, that.
Smart money's on Gallen.
Need one more, Penrith. 10 seconds, boys.
I think if it gets physical, you're right, but verbally he might.
Well, smart money's on Gould.
Yeah, that's it. Now Mansour putting up a hand in the face of Moses. And now Tyrone Peachey pinches another couple of metres. They're 15 away from the line. The Panthers looking to put a bit of cream on the cake here. Yo, he's been good. He's slogged hard. Now from Wallace, Fairley behind 1. Maloney did the same. Blake out the back. Oh! I don't think so.
Be a miracle to get this one down.
For the touchline.
Wateni Zelezniak
Also need to check this obstruction.
is the man.
Okay, horse. Tackle 4 coming up here. We have no try. Okay, so we're confirming there's no obstruction, and then confirm that the ball's placed on the touch and goal line.
Still, I've seen some freakish things happen since we've taken out the corner post. The crowd have loved this second half, and Wonga Blake, every time he's touched the football, they've got on their feet.
No disadvantage to the defensive line. We've cleared the obstruction.
So
his foot's on the line there.
There's a foot on the line there. The heel of the shoe is on the line. But the block runner on that occasion, he actually ran through the line, and that's...
We can see the Penrith player touches the touch line prior to grounding. We have a decision.
That's the responsibility of a block runner, to run through the defensive line rather than actually hesitate or become stationary in the middle of it. So 22-14.
Okay, no try.
And
Foot's on
a
the
scrum will pack down
Tackle 4.
10 metres away from the Parramatta line. There's the man that went close. Little did he realise he'd taken a piece of the chalk on his way through. So a crowd of 21,500 here at Panthers Stadium today. And it's another good crowd, as I said earlier. The opening round, I understand we don't get massive crowds, but we've certainly done well with some of the crowds over the weekend. And another of the home sides looks like they're going to make it. Alvaro. How'd your tips go, Joe, if Penrith do win?
I took the Eels. Trial form.
Well, I look like I'm batting 1 from 7. So here's Mahu. He'll play the ball just on Penrith side of halfway on 5. 8-point ball game, so they're reasonably comfortable, aren't they? Moses putting it down towards Edwards. Does well again, this young fellow.
It's a great take. 4 minutes to go. The ball lands on your 30. Most fullbacks would let that ball bounce, but it's been impressive. Must be incredibly fit. He's been in everything today. Dylan Edwards.
Peachy.
The thing I've liked about his performance, Joey, was that he did come up with a couple of errors early, but it didn't faze him at all.
Well, Peter mentioned the start that Penrith got last year was awful. To say one thing about it, that this is in stark contrast today. In fact, they won only 2 of their first 9 last year. If they win this game, it'll be 4 of the last 5 games played here against Parramatta have been won by Penrith. In fact, not here, but overall, if they win this one, will be 4 of the last 5 have been won by the Panthers.
Well, we've got not rising to his feet here, Kane Evans, so a penalty. Another 2 points coming up here for the Panthers to wind the clock down.
Yeah, they play the ball is supposedly going to be enforced.
What do you think
right through the year?
What's your opinion on that? Foot to the ball.
I think it's good. I mean, we've tried to make the game quicker. We'll take a break and come back. What's that? Yeah. Okay.
10 seconds on the break.
So we're just waiting for Cleary to take the kick. I was trying to say to you, Joe, in answer to your question, we've tried to make the game quicker and quicker, but in doing so, we've made the play the ball just so sloppy it's not fun. I agree with it.
Well, that penalty there is for Kane Evans not rising to his feet. I've seen half a dozen penalties for just rolling the ball back through, and I think the majority of players in the first round have actually made more of an effort. I think it's had some impact. I think the coaches have told them, and there's been a few instances where it was given scant regard by the player. These two sides meet again in a month, Ray, so...
I mean, either that or you just change the rules on the play the ball. That's my point of view, simply. If you don't want to obey the rules, then change them. Throw them away. 24-14 with 78 and a quarter minutes gone. Queensland viewers, you've got Broncos Insider coming up.
Stay behind.
And everyone else, of course, will
Stay behind, guys.
be taking 9 News. And we'll come back tomorrow night with 100% footy. And then next Thursday from Southern Cross Stadium down at Cronulla, the local derby.
Stay on side.
St George Illawarra and Cronulla Sutherland. And here's Edwards again.
There he is again.
Flying above the pack. He's a real athlete. Born down on the Murray. Albury. And then he played his juniors, as I said earlier, up around Coffs Harbour at Bellingen and Dorrigo. Beautiful part of the world. Here's Yeo to the 40-metre line.
I think he's gone 80 minutes. There you go. He gets most weeks underrated forward, not by those who play with and against.
5 out from the Parramatta line. It's Cleary having a look at the blind side, and eventually they usher him over the sideline.
Let's go, guys. Play the ball. Let's
Last
go.
tackle changeover.
Changeover for Parramatta with 45 seconds remaining.
I think looking at the other games during the weekend, looking at these two teams, I think the form will stack up. Both these teams will be there at the end of the year.
So we've seen here a total of 6 tries scored. Blake got a double for Penrith. Kickout got the other. Hoffman got a double for Parramatta. Norman got the other. But it's really been the tale of two halves, with the first half for Parramatta and the second for the Panthers. 24-14 is going to be the final score. So all that remains is the siren. And there it is, the first game of the season for these two sides is done and dusted.